Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast Molecules, where we talk about everything chem related. My name is Angela.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Carlos. Today we'll be talking about erythropoietin, or EPO.
Right, and I think it's important that we talk about this because, especially after the most recent Beijing Olympics, the Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva was tested positive for not EPO, a different doping agent, but it was still a pretty big thing.
Also, EPO is now heavily tested.
Yeah, so because it's so heavily tested, I think it's important to understand the history so that we can then learn about the health and societal consequences there are to using these things.
And not to mention the fact that EPO plays an important role in supplying oxygen to our body.
Mm-hmm.
And to put it out there, I don't think you really have to be into sports to even know about doping agents, because famous people like Lance Armstrong have been caught in the past using doping agents.
Right, Lance Armstrong, he lost several of his medals due to his confession, one of them being his 2012 Tour de France medals, which he specifically used EPO.
Yeah, a lot of people in the 2000 Olympics, I believe, lost a lot of medals due to doping scams.
Oh yeah, and the entire Festina team was disqualified after several hundred doses of EPO were found in the team's vehicle, along with other doping agents.
Yikes. No wonder that the 2000s Olympics is known for the fact that doping agents and like EPO were so heavily tested for.
And to catch everyone up to speed, performing enhancing drugs fall into a couple categories. We have anabolic, I believe. Anabolic drugs, we have stimulants, and then we also have blood boosters.
And EPO falls under blood boosters, which are also known as blood doping agents, which increases one's oxygen carrying capacity. But just to track, how is the usage of EPO tested?
Oh, that's pretty easy. I think there's two typical methods we use. We use urine tests and then blood tests.
Right, urine tests, they're easy to collect, but it only detects if the athlete is currently using EPO.
Mm-hmm. And then on the other hand, blood tests are harder to collect, but they are able to detect residual EPO instead.
Overall, it doesn't seem that difficult to detect the use of EPO, so why would athletes even risk it?
I mean, would you pass up the chance to win a medal?
I mean, yeah, and like at a professional level, every ounce of oxygen counts.
Wait, but do you guys know how it works? What's the mechanism?
Okay, so erythropoiesis is the development process of red blood cells, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we go through this process, eventually it's going to get to BFUE, right? And then it goes through, comes CFUE, all the way over, and EPO is introduced in this area, as you can see. And then it goes all through, more red blood cells. And so, because this matures to red blood cells, these red blood cells are then able to carry oxygen.
Oh, and because of the increase of our red blood cells, we also increase our oxygen carrying capacity, right?
Yeah, and because athletes want more oxygen, it's due to the fact that oxygen is an electron acceptor in the electron transport chain, which then helps with cellular respiration, and then that creates ATP, which they use.
And ATP is vital for muscle metabolism, which overall improves an athlete's stamina and performance.
I guess it does make sense why a lot of athletes want to use EPO, because it does improve their performance, giving them an unfair advantage.
Yeah, I mean, right, wait, to clarify, EPO is a hormone, right guys?
Yeah, a glycoprotein hormone.
If I remember correctly, I think it's produced by the peritubular cells in our kidneys.
And the natural production of EPO is directly triggered by low levels of oxygen.
All right, because the body needs to send a signal in order to help produce more red blood cells and then get more oxygen overall.
Yeah, to kind of explain simply, when O2 levels decrease, EPO goes up, and then vice versa.
Okay, so what are some other factors that influence EPO?
Some other factors include iron availability, nutritional status, and genetic factors like congenital polycythemias, which is a blood disease.
Yeah, these factors can, I think, directly or indirectly cause low oxygen levels, which enforces production of EPO, right?
Oh, okay, and then there's also like various health conditions, which include like heart lung conditions, which then induce hypoxia.
Exactly, which is why EPO is also used to treat health conditions that cause like low levels of oxygen.
But also having high levels is also pretty bad because it can cause a lot of side effects. I think this is because our vessels can't handle that many red blood cells.
Oh, right. And then that would cause like blood clots, heart attack, and/or strokes, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately it doesn't stop there because you can also develop anemia after using repeated doses of EPO because your body then starts to develop EPO antibodies.
But anemia can also be caused by chronic kidney disease, right? And since the kidneys aren't able to produce EPO, wouldn't that cause low levels?
That's also true. I guess this shows that, EPO and like blood cells are all connected.
Right, and because it is like a chain reaction almost. Upsetting this delicate balance by inducing more EPO can cause some serious damage.
Yeah, disrupting this balance can just cause a lot of side effects.
Yeah, we currently don't even know like the long-term side effects.
Yeah, I don't think we really do.
On a different note, what are some ways like EPO can be distributed into the body?
One way is blood transfusion, and the other is EPO or ESA injections.
Yeah, ECA injections like these are synthetic injections that can act as bone marrow to help. These can be used to help treat bone marrow conditions, I think, and then some cancers.
Right, but this is also really expensive, which makes it hard for a lot of people to gain access to it.
Yeah, but recombinant human EPO has also been produced and approved for pharmaceutical use. One of them, I don't think it's this one, but there's also one called Erythropoietin alpha, I think.
It's great that we have access to EPO so that people with anemia can receive help.
That does remind me. I think I read it on PubMed that EPO can be used in the future to help treat conditions such as Alzheimer's, diabetes, and I think some cardiovascular diseases.
Oh, yeah. I mean, EPO has a lot of health benefits, but unfortunately, like EPO and similar chemicals are kind of just known for their abuse and misuse in like the sports industry.
Yeah, like I heard we talking about Valieva. Like doping agents just have a lot of issues when it comes to sports, and we have to think of new ways to prevent them.
Yeah, I think doping agents will always be an issue when it comes to the sports industry.
Yeah, honestly, even if we ignore the immorality issue of like abusing these drugs, there's still a lot of negative side effects it has to like your health.
Oh, for sure.
I guess drug testing will always have to be a part of professional sports now.
Yeah, well, thanks to EPO.
Yep.
Well, anyway, that's all we have for you guys today.
Thanks for watching and or listening.
Hope you learned something.
Bye.
Later.